Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the 46 Robot Master Tournament. We got a hot one here. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great. This is Sage Hero, and joining me is Papat.1.
Hello. And we got ourselves Creble versus Cynan. It's here today. This one's going to be very close. At least that's what it looks like it's going to be based off of both seeds and like their PBs. They're pretty close together here. So
yeah, this
should be a really nice one.
I would expect, based on their skills, Creble is probably going to come out to an early lead, and if Cynan's able to take it back from him, he'll probably win the match.
Yeah, it looks like Cynan has the most of his advantage in the later games, 5 and 6 in particular. So might see a little bit of a head start for Creble to start, and then we'll see how they finish up. If we can get a couple strong finishes here.
Yeah, it should be starting any second now. For those not familiar, this is the Mega Man 1 through 6 46 robots category. In the first 6 games, there's 46 Robot Masters. If you're doing the math, Rockman 1 only has 6. So you beat all 46 initial robots. You don't do any Wily Castles. You don't beat every single game.
We're both doing cut first, so we're doing the zips route for both of our runners here.
Yeah, this is good. This is good. Especially, I'm sure Creble will have some stuff to show off.
Yeah, we got cut here, which is just our pure platforming stage. Just a lot of little tiny optimizations you can get in here, making sure that you cut your jumps as short as you can, since walking is just a little bit faster than jumping in Mega Man 1.
You can see Cynan there got hit on the ladder. You can use the pause or the menu in this game to kind of cancel damage boosts and make him go faster. Creble did, however, fall down on that jump one time, so Cynan's catching up a little bit.
Yeah, the corner jumps are they're pretty tricky to get around those edges. Like, you have a decent amount of space to get around the corner, but also it feels like not nearly enough to get it consistently sometimes.
Oh, Creble just barely getting tagged.
Cynan waiting it out to save the health there. Probably a good decision, since big eye at the end of the stage here can really cause problems, and you don't want to have to go out of your way for the big football health drop if you don't have to.
Cynan doing exactly that. I didn't know if he had enough to take the hit or not, but he might want some health for the Cutman fight too.
Yeah.
Nice little screen wrap there.
You're able to grab the ladder on the bottom of the screen by jumping off the top of the screen. Save yourself a little bit of platforming time there.
So you might see the first instance of a pause glitch here. When you use the select button to pause in Mega Man 1, the boss iframes keep ticking down, so you can just pause the game until the boss is vulnerable again. Creble not doing that.
Just doing the standard Buster fight. Takes a little hit at the end there, but gets the orb no problem. A little higher grab there for Cynan.
Yeah, the stage doesn't end until you touch the orb. This is your only orb for Mega Man, so feel free to get it in now while you can. No significant difference between JP and USA, as far as I know.
Yeah, I think Mega Man 1 and Mega Man 6 are the 2 games where there's no functional difference, gameplay or time-wise, between the 2 versions.
So we're going to see them trying to use a glitch here to get the magnet beam early. It's not required for this category, but it sure does make it a lot faster. they're going to use a glitch to get on top of a ladder in the way they shouldn't be, which sticks their head in the ceiling and kind of clip out of bounds and into the magnet area. You see that coming up in a couple of rooms here.
Yeah. All right, we got one corner jump and a leg here. This is an important one.
That's scary. Oh, I know that pain.
I've felt that pain many times.
That one's hard because the drops stop you in your tracks. Like, he's not stopping there, that is the game stopping him. So your momentum is kind of weird coming into that jump.
Alright, coming up to the magnet grab here from Creble. We're
Very nicely done.
And we're... Oh, he's going for a top exit. There he goes. Yeah, alright.
Nice. That is very tricky, but it does save you time over... You can get out at the bottom as well, but then you have to do the screen. And the first use of the magnet beam here is kind of to create platforms that you can walk on, which is way faster than climbing the ladders. So usually when we have ladders to climb, we're going to use the magnet beam to climb instead. It's got some other fun uses we'll see in the next stage.
Yeah, lots of magic with the magnet beam. It's definitely the speed tech of this game. Oh, a little bit of trouble jumping on beams there from Cynan, but should be able to get through the next couple screens just fine.
Trouble with the nice backup there.
Yeah, this vertical climb is very tough to do.
Got the second screen, nice. That's pretty much ideal.
It's the
nice
grab there too, yeah.
So coming into this, CrebleStar is a slight PB advantage. The RTA time is a 1:51:30. Whereas Cynan is a 1:53:13. So a slight advantage for Creble, but not insurmountable.
Yeah, now we have magnet beam and we're going through the stages here, there's going to be a lot of magnet beam tech that we're going to showcase some zips through. Oh, that looks like a good pixel.
Yeah, I think that's right. Very nice.
Nice, the double.
So if you put the magnet beam on just the right pixel, you'll be able to do a zip. And if you do a zip at the top of the screen like that, you can just go into the top of the net screen, and you skip the entire Yoku blocks. And you got the second one, nice. That's a very well done ice. Oh, I almost got pixeled.
Yeah, I think the trick is you're supposed to full jump onto the magnet beam, and then you don't get nice double corridor zip there.
Oh man, this is a great ice.
Yeah. Excellently done. We got some Yokus here. I thought I saw a zip happen, but might have just missed the jump afterwards.
Yep. And fortunately, the beam does make it a lot faster. He has to be a little bit careful here. He's going to run out of beam here.
It's just enough to get past these footholders. The worst screen.
Here in Fire, you're going to see some more zips and a little zip through here. The skip's going all the way around. I didn't know that the little zip is so nice. Oh no.
Just missed landing on the magnet beam. Sometimes, if you cut your jump just a frame short or, place the beam a pixel too high, it looks like you should land on it, but you just miss. It's very unfortunate.
Fortunately, there's 2 refills in this stage, so he should be okay.
Yeah, and Mega Man 1's pretty kind with the refills too, where if you wanted to, you could scroll it off screen and get it back on screen and get a second set of refills, but probably just end up getting these two. That's good position too. Yeah.
Very nice. Cynan getting through ice there. Didn't quite get it. Gonna have to go with the other strat. And this is the big fire zip coming up on this screen, which skips just a whole ton of the net screen. It is very particular. If you don't do it right, you will actually die.
Gets through.
Cynan is going for some of these zips that I didn't expect to see him going for. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
We're going to abuse the pulse glitch again, and the fireman's going to go down pretty quickly. Usually not one shot. Nice backup zip here, I think. Yep, very nice.
Fall off the beam onto the floor, and it just pushes you through. And then we got the scary zip here. Oh, is he gonna... Looks like he's gonna opt out of it.
And that's reasonable. That is a zip that you can easily die on if you're not familiar with what you're doing. It's probably smart if you're not comfortable with it in this kind of multi-game thing. Usually the person who makes the least big mistakes is going to win.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. Here in Bomb, you're going to see him using the ice to freeze some of the enemies in place. There's not an animation for it yet. They just kind of stop in their tracks.
They are literally frozen, but not in ice.
Freeze the Joe. Sorry, Joe.
If you don't freeze that Joe, he just follows you forever.
Oh, he's terrible. He's relentless.
Maybe the most relentless chaser of any enemy in any video game.
Big bomb zip coming up here. We're going to get to the top right and kind of clip into the net screen.
Nice setup.
There we go.
Yeah, the faster setup, that one's always really fun. Bomb Man's my favorite stage in Mega Man 1.
Oh, it's such a good stage.
A lot of cool stuff going on.
Not much to say about the bomb fight itself, just another pulse glitch boss.
Yeah. Well, you can save a little bit of lag if you do it in like 2 hit cycles as opposed to just 1, just from the the hit animation, the stuff coming off of him. But it's better to do it in 1 cycle than to have to mess around with him throwing his bomb and having that explode.
And Gutsman's going to be the last stage. This one, we're going to see what he does on the platforms at the start, because it can be kind of dangerous.
Jumped a tiny bit too soon. Looks like he cut his first beam just a tiny bit too short. And the setup for this section is just particular enough that if you set it up a little bit wrong, you're just like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna hang out and wait. We'll run on the beams here in a second.
All right, getting through. Gonna try and set up another zip here.
Oh.
Not quite. This one doesn't save that much.
Yeah.
And then the last few zips here we're going to see as he goes through the corridor, try and get some corridor zips. These are pixel perfect beam locations, so they're very tricky to get. There's some tricks called, like there's ways to buffer some of them, but these are just all skill.
We got one, very nice.
I'm always scared, low health going into guts.
We got the turnaround setup here. I like this setup from Cynan to like guarantee the safety across the top. We got the butt grab.
Very nice. Our runners do have a 20-second break between games. That way, if you're switching carts manually, you're not destroying your hardware trying to get it in 3 seconds faster.
Yep. Like Cynan just missed that vertical zip as well. But like we mentioned, just not a ton of time there. Just handy to get if you do.
And I actually missed, what version of Mega Man 2 is he playing?
I missed it as well.
We'll find out
That was
soon.
4 hits. That looks like difficult.
Yeah. So I assume this is Rockman 2 as well. So Rockman 2 is the faster version of Mega Man 2 to play. There's, for those not in the know, there's 4 major categories. There's Mega Man 2, which you can play on easy, and Rockman 2, which is the difficult version of Mega Man 2. And then there's zips and zip-less. And I imagine we're going to see some zips here.
Yeah, we're starting.
Oh
Flash.
no,
I would expect
getting
to see
bullied.
some zips here. The Guts bully here.
Yeah, Guts can really just be relentless. He's jumping away from the bomb. Got 1 hit in.
One more. Alright, got it. Got the orb. Alright, we're out of Mega Man 1. Alright, we got a Mega Man 2 normal on Cynan's side. Let's see, I think this is difficult. Yes, this is.
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. And if difficult, you're going to play Rockman 2, because Mega Man 2 difficult is just slower. The big time save is going to come from the cutscene, the weapon get cutscenes here. The weapon get cutscenes in Rockman 2 are so much faster than the English ones. It's actually worth it to take the extra, more difficult bosses that take more hits in order to get the faster cutscenes.
Yeah. I know that there's also there's like a 46 robot specific route that you can do where if you want to not watch the last cutscene, you can, like, I think it's do air last. So you still have enough stuff for your zips, you just don't do the item 2 rides. Which, in this category, in normal, I believe saves a little bit of time, and I think it loses time on difficult. But I don't remember the exact time difference.
Cynan playing on easy here, Mega Man 2 easy.
Yeah.
So every version is allowed, it's whatever category you want to play. So it's kind of runner's choice here. If you're not as familiar with the game like Cynan, it's probably a good idea to do easy, because there's less chance of a catastrophe.
We are seeing the air second route here from Kreble, so gonna be doing the Yoku block sections in heat with the item 2 fly. Not a bad decision. Slightly slower than the item 1 fast air over the air section, but a lot safer.
A lot safer, yeah.
As anyone who's watched our race can attest to.
Rockman 2 is definitely the one that I find most intimidating to speedrun.
Yeah.
It's just very particular. If something is just not quite right, it doesn't work. Nice getting the bird despawn, using the bird to carry away the wind guy.
Yep.
Cynan taking the same route, gonna use Flash to kind of prevent these guys from knocking you around at the start of the stage. Pretty good pattern there, I think. 2 out of 3 were good, right?
Yeah, it looked like there were 2 good patterns in there.
The rule of thumb is if it's a good pattern, if it's a bad pattern in Mega Man 3, it's a good pattern in Mega Man 2.
Yeah. If you're able to get underneath it in Mega Man 3 with a slide, then you're you're gonna get owned in Mega Man 2 because you just walk right into it or it puts it right in your face.
So
we
you
saw a
saw.
couple
Go ahead
instances
and
of the pause buffer trick there from Cynan. He wasn't quite sure if he was going to make the jump, so pausing in mid-air resets your fall speed in Mega Man 2, so you can get a little bit more horizontal distance by pausing mid-air because it resets your vertical speed.
It's a fun stage here. We're gonna see some platforming, some zips. Actually, we're not gonna see platforming. I take that back because he has item 2. We're gonna see some flying instead.
Yep. You see no platforming. No platforming allowed.
Another nice little pause there. Turn around here. Didn't quite get the item 3. You want it to attach to the first platform, but that's the backup.
Yeah, the impossible item 3 throw. I think I've gotten it twice ever.
I got it. I also fell in the pit.
Alright, in the ceiling, and we're zipping.
Nice. So if that pushes you up, it's actually pretty tight. You gotta hit jump and then turn around. I think you have a 4-frame window to turn around in to activate the zip, and otherwise you just fall out.
I like that item 2 spot.
Yeah, it was nice. I think most people do it later, but that actually seems worse.
Yeah, it looks like that. You have a little bit extra walk time to get it to catch up to you. Yeah, it looked like that was a better placement.
So Heatman can give you either 30, 60, or 90 frames between shots. So there's a ton of, like, several seconds of RNG that Heatman can just give you. And unfortunately on difficult, it's even worse because he takes more hits. Yeah, at this point, obviously you want to stay close to him to be optimal to minimize the distance he travels, but with 1 hit left, I would be safe, and he made a good decision.
Yeah, taking contact damage from Heatman is a lot of damage, so makes
a lot of damage.
Yeah, makes sense to back off a little bit. This is why I do the item 3 throw even if I miss, because like then the next jump over to the side is a little bit easier. Not strictly necessary, but it's handy to have.
We'll see. Cynan was actually, I think, a little too far down there, or not quite. Yeah, there we go.
There it is. So yeah, if you fire an item 3. And let go of the ladder at the same time on specific, like, sections of ladder, then the item 3 is low enough that you actually land on it, so that you can climb right away.
Nice zip here. So we're seeing Kreble is kind of, the game is, the camera and where Mega Man actually is are in disagreement. Mega Man is walking through the rest of the game, but the camera is showing him an earlier screen. And that's what's going on there. It's the short explanation. Now, he takes a death there because he's past the checkpoint, but the game won't easily let him continue. There's no good way. So you take a death, and you charge heat, because if you release heat after you die, for some reason you respawn much, much faster than you would if you just waited.
Yeah, it's something with the sound where the heat shot overwrites the death animation sound, which causes you to spawn in sooner because of sound in sooner. Some trickery like that.
Probably getting knocked down a little bit here. Still getting a pretty good climb.
Got wrong direction birds, it's fine.
Using the down button to grab the ladder off screen actually gives him a little bit of a boost. If you see him like suddenly jump up when the screen scrolls in, that's why. Don't ask me why any of this works. I know it works. I have no idea why.
Yeah. And the reason that you have to die is because you can't fight the boss unless you actually enter the boss room. So you have to die at some point in the stage to actually get it to get through. And because of how vertical the rest of the stage is, it's a lot it's a lot less convenient to be able to. I think I don't know the exact specifics behind the crash zip in particular, why you die there, but I know for wood you want to set yourself up in a way that you can just get into the boss corridor.
I assume you die there because item 1 doesn't work when you're out of bounds.
Yeah,
right?
That's true. Yeah. None of your weapons technically work while you're out of bounds. Well, with the exception of flash, as we'll see here.
Yeah, not using flash to stop the beams yet. We're going to do that later, but we're going to be probably out of bounds while we're doing it. Or in like that weird zip state where we're looking at the wrong screen. Brief little stop there to turn the lights back on so we don't have to do this in the dark.
So yeah, when he passes through the screen, you can see what screen he's supposed to be on for a brief moment. And then as he walks back to the left, he's on the correct screen again. So the game, based off of the zip, thinks you're in the next screen, so it transitions as if you're in the next screen, and then you can walk back in to be on the correct screen again.
There's a really interesting, I think Duckfist made a good tutorial that explains this all. If you ever like really want to know about it, explains it in detail why it works.
Yeah.
Gate crash. This is always scary to me. I was too scared to do it.
This one's terrifying. I didn't do this one in our race.
Yeah, so he took it slow there, and I don't blame him. That gate crash, if you zip too far there, if you zip into the boss corridor, it's actually a soft lock. You're going to have to reset, password, and restart the stage, which is a big time loss. But he got it, so it paid off. It is still faster than walking around and letting the Joes hit you or something.
Yep.
Getting the extra life here is smart too on a race, probably. Something I should have done.
I think I had already game overed, so I was at 3 lives anyway, so. But it's generally a good idea to get one. Because there's one more planned death and you're usually at 0 when you go for it. Got the zip setup from Cynan, get the lights back on. Yep, finish your zip, there we go.
Good metal zip too. I'm curious what he does here. There's a little item. Okay, he doesn't go for the tiny zip. There is an item 2 right up here that I'm sure he's going to go for. And you're just going to jump over these guys, jump off screen so that guy doesn't hit you.
Looks like Cynan's also not doing the last zip here. Just going to walk through the Joes. A little bit slower, but definitely the safer, because you don't have to worry about gate crashing or missing it.
Very nice metal.
Yeah, Metal's AI, you can force him to just stand in place by holding the B button. He reacts to your B button press, but Quick Boomerang is a weapon that automatically fires if you just hold the button down. So ends up.
If you stay opposite the halfway point, like he only jumps away if you come on his side of the screen. So if you just stay across the halfway point, he won't react. Nice ride here. Item 2 ride.
About a 1 stage difference between our 2 runners right now.
So I have a little trouble here. Oh, there we go. He got it.
So it's like the easiest zip in the game, but it's also actually impossible to get in.
The placement. Oh, very nice. By the way, he's using flash through dogs. He got the little zip. He should make it past this last one.
Yeah, nice and easy past the 3rd dog.
And we should get the strat known as Goodwood.
Start jumping a little too soon.
And this is another out of bounds where the camera and the game are kind of in disagreement about where you are.
So right now he's walking through the top screen with like the monkeys and the birds. And he gets on the top of the ladder, zips through, and he's going through what the bunny screens would be here.
Oh, that's okay. Just hold left. Oh no!
Oh no,
that
that's
is a
bad.
soft
You gotta,
lock.
yeah, you have to.
Oh no, a death. There is a ladder there. Okay.
Yeah.
So fortunately, that's a checkpoint, so we can just try it again. He has plenty of item 1.
Okay.
Oh, that's right. You do need to die at the end of this.
Yes. If you do the setup just a little bit wrong and you don't realize it, you land on the ground where you can't actually get up to the ladder that you need to continue zipping. So you have to die and do this part of it again.
This looks so cool. Once you get it, it's just about not messing anything up. The inputs aren't so hard as long as you don't mess anything up. Just hold left.
Just hold left. Okay. That's happened to me a couple times and I don't understand why.
Gotcha.
It hasn't happened to me in a race setting yet.
I'm sure I have faith. He'll get it. I wonder if he's having trouble with his controller because he keeps grabbing the ladder. There
okay. All right. Just grab. Zip and climb. Okay. Oh, okay.
Perfect. There we go.
Just for a half second there, I thought he might overzip, which also is bad. If you zip past the boss room, then it respawns you in a glitched section of one of the Wily stages. I forget exactly which one for wood.
And this is 46 robots, so that's not allowed.
Yeah, well, you can't complete that stage anyway in the glitch state.
It was a joke for anyone not familiar. Still with the lead though, still hanging on.
Ground chicken, underground chicken.
Nice manip here with the tadpoles, trying to keep them on screen, preventing the other frauds from shooting.
Yep, the lag reduction strat. You take 1 damage, but it doesn't matter at all for bubble.
And we're coming up on our last zip here, and then we're not really going to see much more for the rest of the game. You know, one of the interesting things about running this is how different 1 and 2 are from the later games. And really, each game is still pretty different.
Yeah, even though they have similar look and feel, just the way each one plays is just different enough that it's like just the mechanics of each one feel very different.
Yeah, I would agree because of the miss zip, Kreble probably lost some time there to sign in. The zip is fast, but it's not that fast. Where if you die, it's not faster anymore.
One bubble pattern.
Very nice.
Right, we're out of Mega Man 2.
So now we're into the slide games, which are an entirely different thing. It's much less about tricks or like tiny little jump timings and stuff like that, and much more about sliding optimization.
Yeah, kind of unlocks your movements as a base movement in Mega Man 3 to be a little bit faster, but fewer big things like the zips in Mega Man 1 and 2. Got a magnet burst route here.
I was worried there. I'm glad he stopped.
Yeah. It looked like it was a planned stop.
Yeah, sign in going into bubble.
3 bubble pattern.
Nice kill. I don't think the US version really matters through 8 robots. I think the only time it matters is against the last boss, I think.
There's a couple of like small differences with Mega Man 3 versus Rockman 3. The only one that's questionable like through this category is there's different spawn timings for the screw enemies that are in Top Man and Spark Man stages, the ones that come in from the side and screw together, which changes the lag a little bit. It's not gonna be like, it's not enough, I would say, to matter warranting which version that you pick, but there's a small difference between the two categories from those enemies.
Magnet Man, he's got about half health. Oh, taking a hit. If he does his magnet attack, you want to use your health to damage boost him and force him to stop.
Just like he did there,
yeah.
But he's gonna have to wait now, the magnet flex.
Good kill. Center kill, Mega Man has to walk to the center from here on out to collect the weapon. So the closer you are to the center when you defeat the boss, the better. In Mega Man 3, your movement stops as soon as you kill the boss.
Yeah, and in Mega Man 3 and 4, we're going to see the runners try to defeat the boss as close to the center as possible as well, since the fanfare, the end of stage fanfare, doesn't start until the explosion bubbles all leave the screen.
And how we're using the overpowered magnetic weapon here, and you can already see that, like, how good it is just taking these bees out. These bees cause a ton of lag if they actually spawn. Nice magnet fight from Cynan.
Yeah.
Looks like he kind of got a bad pattern. He still has a lot of health, so I assume that he got a lot of jumps.
Yeah, it looked like it was a lot of jump patterns. I think he got hit once on the second pass, but or had the pull pattern on the second pass.
I was hoping he would try and kill the monkey. So a big thing from here on out too is lag reduction. Mega Man 3 uses a lot of processor power for the music actually. So a big thing is removing the music when we can, and also just keeping as few things on the screen as possible. A lot of enemies you kill just because they generate lag.
Oh, I got the bees on Cynan's side here. All the lag makes it just really hard to do the movement that you want to. Like your slide timing's off. You land a little bit later than you expect as well, so it's like, where's everything?
Oh no.
A little trouble with the rush summon there. Couldn't tell if that was like a first frame rush summon or if you just got landing framed. That's another thing in this game. If you try to shoot on the same frame that you land on the ground, it just doesn't happen.
Oh yeah. There's also all sorts of weird rules now. If you start walking in one direction, you can't turn around for something like 4 or 5 frames.
You can't turn around and shoot on the ground.
Yeah.
Everyone's gotten owned by that in at least a couple of the boss fights. Met Dozers have an invincible front every so often, so...
Good Hardman. Overall, good Hardman. Cynan having a little more trouble, but not that much more.
It seems pretty reasonable. Probably gonna get the health after the break.
Yeah, that would be
here.
safe. Hardman can do a lot of damage, and he's hard to avoid. So with Top, we're going to see him now using the magnet later in the stage to kind of clear things out quickly. Magnet does a ton of damage, and it, can kind of track enemies, making it obviously very strong.
Yeah. The Met Dozer that just doesn't die.
Yeah.
Fire into him 4 times and 3 tank off. Alright, we got our magnets here though. Beat these cats that... I think it's normally 10 shots with the Buster. It's 5 magnets, and you don't have to jump up and shoot them, you can just fire from the ground. Makes it a lot easier and faster.
But I like to save one here to speed up this room. It's not a big deal. Called Hard Man. Why is he so easy? I don't know. He's supposed to be a machine press. The Mega Man 3 lore for you. Coming into Top Man, this one's pretty straightforward. The only tricky thing is that Hard Man's weapon kind of stops you in your tracks when you shoot it. So being in the middle when you kill Top Man is kind of tricky. And yeah, I mean, that's not the end of the world. It is a little bit off to the side. Cynan looks like he's having a good stage. Nice, clean cat kill.
Pretty reasonable right there.
It can be tricky because sometimes the magnets can start tracking the wrong thing. They'll start tracking one of the yarn balls the cat shoots or something. And now's where it gets scary. Shadow Man is where things really pick up.
Yeah, a lot of the big factor for choosing magnet over top first as a route is for the Shadow Man last screen. We have got a Breakman fight first, and then we've got the dark room after that.
Yeah, the dark room is a great room, and then there's the room at the end of the stage. It's just terrifying, and even experienced runners die there all the time. Sign in through top. He's closing in. He's maybe like half a stage behind.
Yeah, Cynan's played pretty consistently overall, I would say, keeping it pretty reasonable.
He's just gotta hang in there. I don't think this game is really either their specialty, so he just knows he needs to not make any big mistakes. And kind of same thing with Creble. It's like, just, the games that you're not that great at, just get through them. Don't make any big mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, those drops can eat your inputs. It's very scary.
Alright, we're through the parachute section.
Strongest weapon here, Top Man. Let's go. It's a really good weapon once you understand how to not lose it all.
Yeah, the top spin uses ammo while you're hitting an enemy. Well, while you're hitting an enemy. The caveat being, it doesn't account for invulnerability frames. So if both you and the boss are in invulnerability frames, you can continue to spin, and it'll drain ammo as long as you're both inside of each other.
Every frame, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going into Gemini, man. No breaks yet. This is probably the most difficult stage in the Mega Man 3 part. This first screen is really merciless. We're going to have Magnet to make it a little bit better, but then there's the whole water-blocked screen that's just very scary. I won't be surprised if we see Rush Marine here.
Making the call is usually a good idea. Looks like Creble is going to opt for the full Buster through this... Oh, no, he's going to swap to Magnet a little bit later. I think with the Magnet route, you can swap a little bit sooner than that and save a little bit of headache. I think it is still slightly faster to just go through the first screen with Buster, though, all the way.
He did get through the little cutscene, which kills the music, which is going to save him a lot of lag over the course of the stage. Didn't get the zip, however. He was trying to set up a little zip there.
Yeah. Like, pretty close to actually getting the zip. It looked like he started the zip and then didn't complete.
I think he fell out of the sailing before it finished, yeah.
Yeah.
So now we get this nice, quiet Gemini stage.
Yeah, the ultra tense Gemini in silence.
But because of the way the game prioritizes music when there's lag frames, it really, really helps reduce the lag to turn off the music.
Yeah, it is. Oh, nice. They got the off-screen E-tank grab.
All right, so no Rush Marine. This, I believe, is still faster than making the call.
We got the zip over on Cynan's.
Yep. Very nice. No one-block slides. You can slide on those blocks. It's very scary. In this game, I believe it's 8 frames. If you slide, you can't jump out of it for 8 frames.
Yep.
So if you hit the button, even if you're on the platform, if you just hit it too early, you will just slide off into the pit. Really cool Gemini fight here.
Shadow Blade does 2 damage to Gemini. It's sort of the soft weakness, but because there's 2 of them, if you alternate between them, it resets the other one's invulnerability period, like swapping between them. So you can still have a pretty fast fight with Shadow Blade. I saw that. Just press B to swap many pages over on Cynan's side. Jumped a little bit too big. Got hit by the dragonfly. Screen is
it's really unforgiving. This is what I was talking about. Just gotta try and avoid making the big mistake. Fortunately, he wasn't too far into the screen. He was like maybe halfway through it. It's still a pretty big loss, however.
Yeah, and the music comes back on after the death here, so
yeah, that's true.
Everything's
so now there's
so much lag here. Yeah, I don't think I've ever successfully done this screen with the music on without Rush Marine.
Going into Snake Man. Pretty fun stage here. Sorry, Snake? Needle. Sorry.
It's alright. We'll get to Snake soon.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah, Needle's sort of the short, fast stage.
Yeah, there's not too much to worry about this stage. There's a ton of little optimizations here and there. I was worried there for a second for Cynan, but Gemini didn't shoot. Now, the boss is a little bit scary because you don't want to miss. That's the big thing.
Yeah, nobody wants to miss their laser.
So the laser is, I believe, 3 sprites, and it lags the game like crazy. And if you miss, you can't do anything. You just have to wait.
You have to wait! Okay, got the rebound.
Yeah, it'll bounce around like 5 or 6 times before it finally goes off screen. And there's nothing you can do. You can't shoot, you can't pause to cancel it, you just have to wait and pray. Needleman jumps into it.
Yeah, and then you're sitting there praying that he jumps into it, and then he does the big jump and goes all the way over it. And you're gonna wait to bounce around and then leave the screen. And then it feels like it's forever after it leaves the screen before you can fire another one.
So this one is Snake Man. You can tell by all the snakes in the stage. Yeah, actually a lot of Rush Jet in this stage. It's very vertical, and we're going to use Rush Jet to get over the snake mini-bosses as well without having to fight them. There is a zip you can set up there, but good luck doing it in a race. It's pretty tough.
Hope he didn't have Rush on screen when he pressed pause. He's trying to summon Rush and then press pause to desummon Rush. Because when you're in a slide, like Rush is the only weapon that you can pause while it is out, and it would cancel Rush to be able to pause there. But because you're in a slide and you can't go into the pause menu with Rush out, it cancels Rush instead, which is handy because it reduces a little bit of lag to get rid of Rush there.
Yeah, one less thing on the screen. I think CrebleStar kind of got owned by lag there. His jump to the ladder was short, and I think it was because of all the lag. That jump always has me hold my breath.
Yeah, yeah, it's the Skullman jump of this game.
Last screen here, we're probably going to see Rush Jet. There are a lot of neat little strats you can do where you go under these things and slide underneath them. That's for good runners of this game.
I've tried it a couple times. It's fun to do, but it's also incredibly scary. So I don't anticipate nearly anyone doing that.
And just using Needleman's weapon here. Snake kind of goes back and forth. I think this is an alright pattern.
Yeah, I think the no shot, like the no snake pattern until he gets to the center. I think that would be the most optimal pattern here.
And he did kill him while standing on the center platform. That's the most important part of finishing there. Mega Man takes forever to jump up there if you aren't already up there.
Got the gap jump from Cynan, very nice.
Sparkman to finish it up, not a ton. With this one, you do have to be careful. The rising blocks room can be a little bit scary because there's a lot of pits. It is easy to fall off. Ask me how I know.
Utilizing magnet for a little bit of the stage here. Very handy weapon to be able to just track the enemies in your way. Ops the D-boost through the Met Dozer, that way guarantee you have enough for the blocks screens.
Nice kill by Cynan as well. Still hanging in about half a stage behind. His funny thing is his lead hasn't changed all that much since 3 started. Kreble's lead. Switching to Shadow here because that's the boss's weakness, and we don't want to pick up weapon ammo.
Oh, okay,
oh, okay,
okay, we're fine.
And yeah, that's good. Slide on the stationary blocks and walk on the rising platforms. It's the way to do it. So he didn't die there because he was in iframes. So the block pushed him up against the spikes, but he was invincible. And good kill.
Yeah. It was good. Just always a little bit scary, like those rising block sections. It's like it should go the same every time, but if something goes wrong, then it's like, okay, where are all the screw enemies in relation to where I'm at now? What do I have to worry about for like where they're gonna be spawned in at?
Rockman 4, we're starting with Bright first. This is probably the better race first, the race strategy. The any percent world record does Pharaoh first, which is faster, but only by a few seconds. Ooh, taking an unfortunate death, though. Fortunately, a quick one.
Yeah, right at the start of Bright, not terrible. But there's always a little bit of an adjustment period between each of these games, like figuring out, okay, where are the actual edges now? Where's my slide end? Like how long do I need to hold each jump? Like because each game plays a little bit different and has just a little bit different mechanics, it's definitely a little bit of a transitionary period in your first stage in each of these in this type of category.
You may not think much of it, but in Mega Man 4, your slides are a lot longer, and also Mega Man falls, I believe, a little bit faster. He's a little bit heavier. Or I think he reaches his maximum fall speed faster. And on the grasshoppers here, if we get great luck, the grasshoppers will just go fast. If we get okay luck, we might see us taking a damage boost on the bullets to make us go faster. Just like that.
Just like that, yep.
Should say the version difference here makes just no difference at all. It does in the full game, but not in the 8 robots. Coming up to the platform section here.
Oh, okay.
Yep, there we go. Don't go for that unless you know what you're doing.
I think this bullet is gonna just stay on screen the whole time. Oh.
maybe get it. Oh,
Ooh, he jumped.
oh no, that hurts.
Jumped a little
That's
bit
a
too
long way
big.
back.
That's a bad one. Yeah. Now it's just a couple of screens difference.
Yeah, sign in actually go in bright first as well, so we'll have the same route. There's pretty much, after the first two stages, the route's pretty set, so we should see the same route throughout the entire game. And we're doing this stage first because Brightman's weapon is just like one of the best weapons in the entire series. It's completely overpowered, and we're going to use it in basically every 8-robot stage after this.
Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Does the
So
shorter
with-
jump that time? Very nice. Yep.
With Brightman, you want to damage him very specifically. A lot of people think it's RNG whether he freezes you or not, but it's actually based on his HP values. You want to start with either 2 or 3 charged buster shots, 1 lemon, and then the rest full buster shots. No mistakes. I believe the values are like...
It's 16, 8, and 4 HP.
Yeah.
And the way that just the one extra lemon shot in there, it just happens to squeeze by all the health values that would cause the freeze.
I accidentally shot the wrong way. I find that happens to me a lot when I'm coming from 3. I don't know if it's a timing thing. And you see I'm trying to get in the exact center of the screen. You do have control of Mega Man after the boss kills for a few seconds. If you are pixel perfect in the center of the screen, you actually get a much faster weapon grab. And you can already see Brightman's weapon in action. Just everything's frozen. Usually the screen not only has a ton of enemies, but a ton of lag. And so you can kind of just skip all that. And he makes a balloon jump to get the balloon.
Yeah, and Flash Stopper here would normally be only like 5 seconds long for each usage of it, but the timer doesn't count down while you're in the middle of a slide, so you can make it last much longer through whole screens if your movement is really good and really clean.
Yep. Actually rewards you for having good movement. If we can, we'd like to jump on these platforms before they shoot, but it's not worth, if you're not familiar with the timing, it's not worth risking death here. And it's going to be more of these platforms throughout the entire stage, basically, at this point. Nice balloon grab by Steinen, so they both got the balloon. We're not going to collect the wire, unfortunately. I apologize.
Yeah, nowhere to use the wire even for the memes in this category. Oh, okay. Good catch there from Cynan. Just barely didn't land on the second balloon, but he managed to catch himself before it despawned.
Yeah. So you might go, wait a second, Pharaoh's weakness is bright, but it's actually, because it only does 1 damage per lemon, it's much faster to kill him with Buster.
Yeah, because you can't charge your Buster Shot while on Flash Stopper, so ends up being a little bit of time savings to actually use Pharaoh Man's weapon on Brightman, even though the weapon weaknesses are technically the other way.
Try that little jump. There's another version of the fast weapon grab you can do in Pharaoh Man stage, but didn't quite get it. He actually wasn't quite in the center. And Pharaoh Man there's a lot of RNG to his movement. He can stand there and charge Buster Shots forever, or he can jump around and just cause you a ton of trouble and pain and make you miss shots. I think he behaved fairly well for both of them.
Yeah, looking pretty good for Cynan. I don't think that's quite the position for Cynan. No, pixel off. Alright, now that we have Balloon and Flash Stopper, that's gonna be a lot of what you'll see for the rest of the stages here.
Ringman is a terrifying stage. If you do those stages routed properly, there are you take all your HP and damage boosts except for, I think, 4. There's no room for error. I think CrebleStar is already missing some, so we may have to do some backups here.
Cynan opting for the bright immediate start here on.
Yep. And that's reasonable. That's also the backup if for some reason you fall down and you don't catch the balloon. You may see Kreble. Yeah, he's just going to kill this boss instead of damage boosting. That's smart.
Yeah. I think there's a route through the stage, basically bright only.
Yep. Not seen so much anymore, but yeah.
Careful. Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
he's gonna have to be very careful against this last mini boss. I might even have farmed some health there. See if those two guys would drop me some health. He's got to actually kill him.
Yeah,
he's got 4. Okay, fortunately he got a good pattern there. It's very scary because you gotta aim the shot while jumping over the ring. No room for error against ringmen here.
Yeah, this is probably the most died to boss in speedrunning.
Nice.
Yeah.
So the Pharaoh charge shot over your head can do damage, and it's actually, even if you use it to hit ringmen or any other boss, you still have the charge, even though you don't see it over your head anymore. So that's exactly what he did there, is he hit him with the charge shot over his head, and then he just hit him again with the thrown charge shot. And you can hit him with 2 charge shots, but you only took the time to charge 1.
You can save quite a bit of time that way.
Cynan took a slower path through the stage, but he's got plenty of health. It doesn't look like he's comfortable with the double boost, so he's just gonna kill a ringman the normal way. It's still pretty fast.
Yeah, pretty reasonable there. We got Bright and Dust here. 2 different methods, but I would be surprised if either of our runners did the Pharaoh method through this screen, the Room of Lag.
Don't, never Pharaoh.
Pharaoh's a trap.
It's a trap. Oh, shorted that jump just a little bit. It can be tough because there's so much lag in that room. They actually call it the lag block room. Took a game over, not a big deal because he didn't have the checkpoint. However, it is almost tied up now.
We're very close now, within, I think, like 6 or 7 seconds.
Yeah, so you're using Bright in that last screen to freeze all the enemies so they're not flying around. You can kill them faster. You can use Pharaoh here and it is faster, but you need to get either that big eye to jump big or just slide under him with an extremely precise slide. It's really tough. And if you get hit by him, most of the time save is gone.
Both runners through Room of Lag and into
Crusher. This is another scary looking room. I promise you this room is safe once you know what you're doing, but it looks so scary. Okay, yeah.
Oh
no. Cynan just gonna buster it, not gonna play around. Okay, he got... Okay.
Might have played around a little bit there.
Okay. Take it back. So what you're trying to do, there's a very specific ring timing where it looks like you're about to get crushed, but you can shoot the ring and slide, and the ring just barely clears a path in front of you as you slide through that last crusher. I'm glad he didn't get sucked into that last stomper there for Kreble either. Slight tech issue here for Kreble. Cynan's coming into Dust.
Dust is gonna give a little bit of a suck there. He's gonna still aim in the center. No, he's gonna jump back over to the side.
It's unfortunate. You want him to die in the center because the fanfare doesn't start until all the boss explosion bits are off the screen. I should also note, you'll see the players positioning themselves close to Dust, and to a certain degree, his behavior and some of the other bosses' behavior are controlled by your proximity to him.
Yeah, I think it's less likely to...
He's more likely to jump when you're closer to him and less likely to shoot.
Yeah.
It's actually a 25% chance for vacuum, no matter where you are, unfortunately.
Alright, Cynan doing the flash stopper route through this. So we won't see the zip in Mega Man 4, but you can use just the same weapon through the whole stage.
And Kreble's gonna go, okay, so we're gonna see a small zip, and then we're gonna see him using Balloon. Balloon is faster, but Bright is still pretty fast. It was in Ohan's world record back when it was like a 38-0 something. So yeah, if Ohan's doing it, it's not a bad strat.
No.
And here's where we would normally switch to Bright, and where I imagine you'll see Kreble switch to Bright. Kreble gaining some time there just because of being able, for example, he doesn't have to climb that ladder, he just uses the balloons to suddenly go up. Switching to Bright here. I was hoping to see if Kreble was going to go for the one jumper, but that's tough.
Yeah.
And coming to Skull, Skull is the one robot who actually reads your inputs here. So if you try to shoot, he's going to jump, and if you move left or right, he's going to start shooting. We'll see what kind of strategy Cynan goes here, but it's completely manipulatable. And he's... okay. 3 hits.
Still
now he's got to get 5, I think.
Super long.
4, okay.
Got a long cycle there for...
not quite center.
Nice short cycle from Kreble. I think it's a second shield. I think it's a long second shield.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yep.
You can get a 1 shield there. The shield length is RNG, unfortunately, and it varies wildly. Like, you would think that there would be like 3 patterns or something. It's like 7. It's stupid. They range from like 40 frames to like a few seconds. Toad also reads BD inputs. I actually didn't know that. That tells you how much attention I paid to the Toad boss fight, I guess.
Just shoot him. Doesn't do anything. We got Dive Man here. And we have our water stage. So in Mega Man 4 and in Mega Man 5, underwater, the water counts as a foreground tile, and you can't jump out of your slides on foreground tiles in those games. So we'll see them do some walking probably close to the edges of platforms. You can't see your slide like we did see Cynan do there. To get a little bit of a slide input still.
Just froze a little bit too early there. Now with the whales, Cynan's doing a pretty reasonable strat. I didn't see what Kreble did, but we'll look at the second whale. You can either go for a high 1 jumper or a kind of mid 2 jumper. It's faster to do it in 1 jump, obviously. But if you're not going to make it, it's better just to go for 2 jumps. And yes, you can do a mid. Before someone says it in chat, you can do a mid 1 jumper. Good luck. Your thumbs will hurt. I mean, you can do it.
Alright, on the screen where every slide is slightly different timing.
It's a fun. The game just changes the rules as you go through. E-tank there, interesting.
Probably was expecting to get hit here by Dive Man as he's drilling at him.
This is a completely scripted boss fight, and it is reasonable, you know, if you have any tank, it's reasonable to use it.
But does it damage was very nice.
He's in the spot. He could set up No, the bubble kind of got one over on him.
But still
You
gets
can
the
get a
fast teleport out.
very... Sorry, what was it?
Still gets the fast teleport. Not the fastest teleport, but
Yeah. Dive missile, here we go. So we're going into drill. Drill's another... We're past probably the scariest parts. I mean, ring and dust were by far the scariest stages, but drill can get you. And actually, it's not too late to die in Toad stage either, so there's no breaks.
it's not over until you're through Mega Man 6 Centaur.
Especially Centaur. Centaur being the last stage of this run is so rude.
What are you talking about? Centaur's a nice calm stage.
Bat luck? He got good bat luck. Unfortunately, he got hit. You want... Oh, he's getting the health now. That's actually not a bad idea. Oh, look at the sync. They're tied.
Yep, right in line with each other now.
Good turret freeze. You gotta freeze those. It's a very tight window to freeze them before they shoot.
These drops, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the drops kind of got them.
Same drops, I think, from both runners there, though, so...
This last screen is a test of your movement. You can get through this screen on one flash if your movement is extremely good and you maximize your slide time. Remember, the timer doesn't run down where you're sliding. It's very tight, and I wouldn't be surprised, yeah, if they both take a second flash. But it's just a kind of litmus test of your movement. It doesn't really do anything special. And here we go. After the first dive, Drill will always dive. He can dive at any point after that, and that's just RNG. By staying close to him, you reduce the chances, but you don't completely eliminate them. So you just got to kind of pray that he cooperates, and you want to stay reasonably close. So there's one dive for Kreble, and one dive for Cynan. Each dive is about 4 seconds.
Looks like one dive from Kreble to in there, which is pretty good. We get a second
Cynan getting a second one. Should I get a nice center kill? Yeah, I was saying hopefully he doesn't dive again. You can always get 2 hits in between. So, you know, it would be, you know, up to execution at that point.
As long as you don't fire dive missile at the wrong time and it goes all the way around, dive in 3 times.
Goes away to the opposite side of the screen where everything is.
Yep. Last stage of Mega Man 4, we got Toadman here. Toad's a full flash stopper stage, if you want to discuss.
Yeah, sure. So we're going to use a flash stopper here. There's supposed to be all these enemies falling on you, but we're going to flash stopper them. And there's also 2 mini bosses that we're going to flash stopper. The timing is, you just have to make sure you flash stopper them before they fully form. And you can kind of take a damage boost through them and just skip them entirely. This waterfall room that Kreble is going into is probably the scariest part of the stage, though, because the water pushes you around and it can pull you down. So if you try to jump up into a waterfall, you basically get sucked down. You also, sometimes it can make it hard to see if an enemy left a drop, so it can take you by surprise. Good freeze there. That first one's easy. The second one's a little more tricky because there's pits in the room. Should get a turnaround back boost onto it. Okay, that works.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
So long as you don't fall in the pit, or if you do something very silly, you can soft lock the game there, but neither runner did that. And yeah, just this last fish room, you just gotta make sure you try and get through before you run a buster. Cynan might run out, that's okay. Just get through it.
Okay.
And then really there's not much to talk about with Toad. You just shoot him. He has a full screen unavoidable attack that you interrupt by shooting him. Shocker.
Oh, we got a Toadman hit.
More hits.
Alright.
Okay.
We're through.
The boss does do 8 damage on contact, so that was a little bit tense, because you could have died there. You want to talk about Rock Band 5?
Yeah, we got Mega Man 5 here. No functional difference in this category for 46 robots. But Mega Man 5, it's a great game. You start off with Star, which is a little bit rude. Swapping over to Mega Man 5. So the gravity mechanics of the stage are sort of like you're underwater. And you also have to contend that with the fact that you would really like to kill your enemies, kill the enemies in your way with the Buster Shot. The unfortunate just jumped a little bit too big.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. So Cynan takes a lead here, but the stage is still just as scary for him, so we'll see. They are both obviously skipping the letters because you can't get beat. You're only doing 8 robots.
You can get beat, you just don't.
I mean, yeah.
You don't need beat. And I would not recommend getting beat in this category. I would recommend skipping past Crystal.
I don't know if either of them know Crystal skips. It'll be interesting when they get there if they just do the stage. There's no reason to. It's pretty easy. I learned it in like 5 minutes. But...
Yeah, can definitely recommend anyone who's playing this category to please learn Crystal Skip. It takes 5 minutes of your time. It'll save you a lot of headaches. And more headaches the worse you are at Crystal. So, alright, well, we got Starman himself here. His shield is functional as a shield until you get close enough to him, in which case you can just put your buster straight through it and hit him.
Yeah, you just kind of reach into his shield and say, excuse me.
Yeah. It's only mostly there. But he'll jump around a bit. He can be slightly rude with like when he decides to fire off the Star Crash. If you're close to him, he will always do these short length jumps. But he can decide to fire his Star Crash at the peak of his jump or at the bottom. Or he can land from a jump and then decide to do another jump. And I don't know the exact reasoning behind why.
You see him doing little jumps there to try and set up a faster weapon grab. Unfortunately, Kreble, you can see he's still on low grab. He didn't quite get it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you do a 1-frame jump that delays the fanfare, then your gravity, like the timer that ticks down your gravity is on the right frame, so you get the faster jump fall speed.
Oh, and we got Super Arrow. So Super Arrow is the utility weapon you get by defeating Starman, and we're basically going to use it for the rest of the game. You can, not only does it do good damage, but you can ride on it, and it goes very fast once it gets up to the speed, kind of like Item 2 in Mega Man 2, but actually way faster than sliding.
Yep. Yeah, we've talked about some of the different routes in some of the other games. Mega Man 5 there's only one route, and it's Star First in the weakness order, just from how good Super Arrow is. You use it in literally every stage that you can. Getting through this last long screen, very nice.
That was nicely done. And then we're going to see him using the Star Shield to actually fight Gravity Man with his weakness. Pretty simple. There's just one tricky part where you want to actually have, when he jumps across, you want to have him actually touch the shield as he jumps. Right there. Got it. Other than that, you just don't want him to shoot any of your shields and cancel them before they hit him.
Yep, standard cycle for Gravity Man. It's a completely scripted fight. Gravity Man does the same thing every time. It's just a matter of like, can you land the tricky hit, really?
Yeah, there's one, they call it the TAS version of the fight, though it's not really TAS only, but it's hard.
The TAS version is TAS only, as far as I can tell. The half TAS.
Oh, okay. Half TAS, yeah.
Yeah.
I almost had it right.
Yeah. Yeah, the TAS can get him 2 cycles faster by some miracle. But half TAS is pretty doable with enough work at it.
And here you're going to see, he's just going to set up arrows on this screen, and so he can jump and ride an arrow on the next screen. Oh.
Looks like he fired the arrow before the screen had fully transitioned, so... Missed
Yeah,
that there.
that's
but
okay.
Still gets
Not a
the
big deal.
backup ride.
Managing arrow ammo is pretty big here. You want to make sure you have enough to, like, sometimes you see them running forward on the arrow, and that actually conserves ammo. So if you're trying to do another arrow after that, and keep in mind, if you have even one ammo, you can shoot an arrow and ride it forever. So that's a big part of what's going on there.
Yeah, Kreble's just opting for the ride, so he's saves a little bit of lag there, but doesn't save the extra tick of ammo. So has to do the platforming in that screen. That was another really low arrow. Both of those were a little bit sketch, but
Yeah.
they both work, so that's what's important.
Coming here through the spike screen. Not much to talk about for the rest of the stage. Just, you know, simple movement. Don't die. Don't fall in the pit here. Don't slide on the one platform.
Kreble does do H-Stomper deboost here, which is pretty nice. There is a couple, like, because the clouds on the top of the screen there count as foreground tiles, you have to be careful about where you slide at, because you can't, like I said before, you can't jump out of your slides with a foreground tile in the way. Ladders count as well.
Yeah, it's shocking how much similar this game is to Rockman 4 as we fight Gyro really quickly here. But all the games, those two probably have the most in common, where they feel the same to play. Like, the slide length is pretty much the same. The way Mega Man falls is very similar, though not quite the same.
Yeah, the biggest difference between 4 and 5 is the Buster and just how strong the Buster is in 5. And how big it is in comparison.
Yeah.
Alright. Crystal Man. We're gonna see right away.
Yeah, we'll see. If we start seeing him take a lot of damage here, we know. Okay. Yep, we're doing Crystal Skip.
Warp. Okay.
Grab your snacks.
Alright, so for Crystal Skip, we're gonna take a lot of damage here. We're gonna get ourselves down to 1 HP. We're gonna make sure this guy's out of the way, and then we're gonna ride the arrow to the right. And we see the bobblehead enemy on the right. It no longer has a bobblehead, which means that we did it correctly here.
And now we wait.
Yeah, now we wait. It takes around 40 seconds with this method to get through the stage, to respawn at the boss corridor, but it's significantly easier than having to go through the whole stage here.
Yeah. And so in the short version of the way this works is when the game is trying to write the death data for Mega Man, it's trying to write the data for the enemy, the bobblehead enemy that spawns at the same time, and something goes wrong, and it ends up writing some of the bobblehead data into where Mega Man's death data is supposed to be, and it puts you at checkpoint. Technically, it puts you at a room number that's way past the boss, so you just end up in the boss corridor. If you're a tasser and you actually know how it works, just pretend I didn't say any of that.
Yeah. Layman's terms, you die on a very specific frame and magic happens. Yep, through Crystal Man.
Yeah, that was a good fight. With Crystal, you'll see it on Kreble here as well. We're trying to get rid of some of the orbs that he shoots just to reduce lag. So that's what that damage boost is all about. Oh, actually, he's accepting the orbs.
Yeah. Sometimes you have to ponder the orbs. Alright, we got Napalm here, which is a fairly straightforward stage for a lot of it. There's a couple of arrow screens here, but just gotta be aware of the tigers. Tigers are one of 2 enemies in this game that react based off of you pressing the B button, not releasing it. So if you press the B button, you can make them jump, or if you just hold the B button and then release a charge buster, you can make them not jump and die by getting hit by the buster shot.
Nice. Cynan seems pretty comfortable with this game based on like little things like the movement on that screen with the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how he was at 5, but he seems pretty comfortable with it if he's going for things like that.
Yeah. Has the extra arrow here.
And we're going to switch to gravity. Okay, so this is a little bit slower, but it's so much easier to get through the nets through screens. If you can just clear all these missiles out of the way, gravity will just whoosh away all the enemies on screen.
Yeah, I think it's a little over a half-second faster to do crystal strats for the end of the stage, but it's significantly easier to do gravity strats. So, not surprised at all. I myself am a gravity holdout.
Yeah, I know how you feel. Everyone has that one strat. It's like, I'm not doing that.
And the Paulman here, his AI is triggered to, like, he'll jump to your position, so you want to get close enough that he does short jumps, but his bomb attack, the ones that he fires up in the air, is a very laggy attack. So if you stay further away from him, he fires out the missiles instead. So you kind of get close, just get him to jump short, and then you slide away to get him to fire the missiles instead of the bombs.
Treble, having some trouble with the menu there, and I know that feeling, especially when you've been running other games, and you're trying to remember where something is on the menu. It can be quite a challenge to figure out what to do.
Looks like
in the last
the
game.
Bombs, which is just a nice, safe way to go about it. It's always going to be consistent there.
It's very tough in the last game, especially coming from like Mega Man 2 to Mega Man 3 to Mega Man 4, and just all the menus are completely different.
Yeah, how the menus all function, the timing of them, where everything is that you defined. Menu truly is the hardest boss in these games.
Going through stone here, not a ton scary in this stage. We got some cool zips and some, not zips, sorry, arrows.
Yeah, stone's sort of the death by 1,000 little tiny cuts. There's a ton of small things that can go wrong in stone. There's a couple of bigger things that can happen, but usually they're not too big of a deal. Oh, here's one of those small cuts I mentioned.
That's pretty rough. Can you ride this up and do a backup arrow up here?
Yes.
Yeah.
That might be a little bit too low, though. Okay,
oh,
yeah.
No. What's the backup here? Gravity? I don't know.
Backup is just to swap to Rush Jet. I mean, the obvious backup is just swap to Buster and kill everything, because that's the backup for everything in this game. It's just so good.
True.
But I think the slightly faster backup, since you're going to be on Rush Jet anyway, I think he forgot that he's supposed to be on Rush Jet. Ends up being slightly faster to swap to Rush Jet early.
Yeah, and that stuff, you can see him there going, what weapon am I supposed to be on? He gets an E-Tank there, he's going to immediately use it. That was actually really fortunate. Stone is a boss that you can end up accidentally taking a hit against, because you have to get close to him to use the weapon.
Oh, a little bit of trouble here through the last screen. Or through.
Yeah, got through, didn't take a death. He's got some health for the boss. We should hopefully see a Happy Stone. Happy Stone means small jumps, no big.
Oh, we got the immediate Happy Stone.
Yeah.
That's the lucky pattern.
That's rare.
Oh, and Kreble's going for the Napalm last screen. This version of the screen is actually very tricky to do. Saves a little bit of time doing it right, but is much harder to do than just using gravity through it.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, no immediate Happy Stone. Got the Power Stone start. Alright, and Kreble takes Stone Man to the center of the screen, which is not actually faster in 5 and 6, unfortunately. It's a little bit faster to have the bosses die in the corner because the fanfare is on a fixed timer as opposed to waiting for the bubbles to leave the screen.
I can never remember that. I always kill him in the center and then remember. Some cool arrows here in charge. This is the first of 2. The second one we need a drop in order to see, so we may or may not see it.
Alright, you ready to dedicate this chicken room?
I'm ready for you to dedicate this chicken room.
Chicken Room is dedicated to BJW, as they typically are.
That's a good dedication. I need a like a rotating list here. Chicken Room Hall of Fame.
I have a plan for my next Chicken Room dedication in the next race.
Oh, we got a drop, so we'll see him try this arrow. I think that's. Was that the right height?
It was. I couldn't tell quite in time, and then he jumped off of it. It was either the just right pixel or the just not right pixel.
Yeah, it was very close. I couldn't see whether it would have worked or not. And that might be why he jumped off it. Is maybe he saw that it wasn't gonna work.
Yeah.
Treble having a little trouble in the Chicken Room. It can really get tough if they start spinning out the little chickens because of the lag. I think he remembered he doesn't have to get the A for a second there.
Yeah. Okay. Power Stone versus Charge Man, which is a tough version of the fight. He snuck that hit in. That very nice. There's some crazy stuff you can do in the fight to save a couple of pauses, but that is definitely a high level strat.
That is definitely a tough fight to min-max. There's so many things you can do. Sometimes this pattern can be a little bit hard to predict, at least for me. Maybe if you know more about it. And then you can set up.
There's definitely some randomness for it, like whether he charges at you or does the angry attack is a little bit random. I think ideally you want to get one of each.
So we'll see what happens here. We are going into Wave Man, and there's a big skip in this stage called Bubble Skip. And it's not super difficult, but it is very picky, and if you fail it, you lose a lot of time.
Yeah, it's very particular. Swapping the arrow here, so we'll see if he... Oh! Okay.
So he almost got it. Good backup. He got to the first screen quick. He's going to have to wait on the second screen a little bit. Is he going to go for this?
He's
just going to ride it to the end.
Yeah.
And that's reasonable. Especially in a race this close. I don't know if he's watching Creble's screen or not. So what he was trying to do is you can skip that entire thing. You're supposed to ride the big bubbles to the top. But you can just skip it all entirely and ride the small bubbles up, which you're not really supposed to be able to do. We'll see Creble go for it here. Maybe? He took out arrow.
Yeah. Oh, landed early on that. He's just going to opt for the slow ride here.
That's reasonable.
So, yeah, the small bubbles only give you a very small window to actually land on the bubble and have the screen be transitionable when you reach the top of the screen. It's not like the Mega Man 9 bubbles where as long as you're on the bubble at the top of the screen... Hang on a sec. Okay.
Nope.
Then you can transition it. There's like a small window where the bubble is in a not popping state, or that it lets you transition across the screen transition.
So what Creble was looking like he was going to go for there is a boat skip where you can skip getting in this boat, and instead Mega Man is just gliding across the water on his feet, which is pretty amazing. It's faster because it lets you charge, lets you slide, it gives you all your usual controls of Mega Man, instead of being stuck on this boat where you can't charge, you can't slide, you can't pause. And you don't have to slowly walk out of the boat like Cynan is doing right now.
Yeah.
However, if you fail it in the wrong way, you soft lock the game. So unless you're sure you're going to get it, it's not worth going for.
Yeah, that's why the one arrow just ride is that's a pretty reasonable, you still get through the screen quickly, but don't have to worry about trying to skip the boat. Alright, we're through Wave Man. Not going to see the worst weapon in Mega Man 5, Water Wave.
In a game with Power Stone, it's not the worst weapon.
Yeah. Alright, and then into Mega Man 6.
And I'm sure you want to talk about Mega Man 6.
Oh yeah, six is a great game. There's 3 routes you could do that are reasonable. There's some other routes that you could do that are unreasonable, but wind is the standard de facto route here. It's just the easiest buster fight to get through, and it's a fairly simple stage. Not a lot that you can do to speed it up with weapons. In fact, using weapons generally is slower than just using buster through it. So, but Mega Man 6 has the alternate mechanic here of you can't jump out of your slides at all. So you have to cancel all your slides in this game in order to jump out. Either by turning around or by letting go of down and pressing A again, so you kind of double jump out of your slide. It makes the movement really tricky and is very fun to do, in my opinion.
Yeah, min-maxing movement here is huge. Like, movement is already huge in all these games, but in Mega Man 6, it's so technical. And just having, like, every runner has different preferences on whether they like to A cancel, whether they like to turn around cancel, which ones they do where, and then just trying to make them crisp is always a thing. Make it look like you're not even canceling, ideally.
Yeah. And we have the Buster Shot here, which is still fairly strong, but not as overpowered as it is in Mega Man 5. There's not as much lag in 6, so you can charge a lot more than you can in, say, Mega Man 4. Where a lot of the strats in 4 end up being get close to an enemy and mash it down. In Mega Man 6, it's like, oh, I can charge ahead of time because there's less lag that happens in general. It's a little bit more optimized game in that way.
Mm-hmm.
We have Windman here, which you can speed this fight up slightly by sliding during the fight. If you slide back and forth every time that you cancel your slide, it increases how fast your charge happens. So you can get a little bit of faster fight by doing those back and forth slides, the wind dance. Oh, Creble! Alright, it's a fast pit death. You die and respawn really quickly after pit deaths in Mega Man 6. But if you just slide off of that edge there, you will always land on the fan. You don't have to worry about jumping or anything else.
Cynan going into flame while Creble tries to get back to the end of wind here. This game is generally more of Cynan's game, but it is close enough where anything can still happen here.
There's definitely some disasters that can happen in some of the stages, particularly plants. That we'll see if Creble can catch back up with. Flame Man stage here, we have the oil that's all over the stage, which will slow down your movements when you're in it. You don't jump as high, you don't move as fast, you don't slide as fast. But you also have to worry about these fire enemies firing their flames into it and setting it on fire, in which case it becomes instant death, kind of just like spikes.
Instant death, and there's all sorts of weird stuff, like it persists through game deaths.
Yeah.
And it's actually tied to the ones in the first room, so if one in the first room gets lit on fire, another one will randomly light on fire somewhere else in the stage.
Yep, the same memory addresses for different oil pits. Good off out of that slide there, probably would have fallen off. Alright, nice. Gets through the last screen pretty cleanly.
You let the wind buddy live.
Yeah.
There's a strat where you send him away up in the air with Windstorm that's just really good. It's really satisfying to watch.
Yeah. Windstorm's kind of a little bit of a silly weapon, where it causes enemies to go off the top of the screen once you've depleted their health. But they still have their hitbox, so you can still run into those enemies as they're leaving the screen. Unlike Gravity, where once they're flipped and going upside down off the top of the screen, they no longer have their hitbox.
Cynan probably has about half a stage lead here.
Yeah, and then coming into Blizzard, I would not anticipate either of our runners to go for the bomb skip, which is a trap. Don't do it.
Don't, never.
But Blizzard is our ice stage in Mega Man 6, where normally in Mega Man 6, when you end a slide, either by ending naturally or by canceling it, you would come to a complete stop. While you're on ice, you actually do continue your forward momentum. If you turn around while canceling your slide on ice, you boomerang the other direction. So there are some strats where you want to specifically do a jump cancel in order to prevent that boomerang happening.
Like right there, and there's one early in the stage as well.
Yep.
There's also one where you want to intentionally slide backwards, which is kind of fun. Nice riding there, by the way. Riding is when you don't cancel at all. You just... Some blocks are just the perfect length where you can barely slide on them before you fall into the spikes.
Yeah. Shoutouts to Raiden the Quick for showing us all a bunch of different Raiden slides you could do. And then coming through to this last screen after the squid, we got the infamous bombs screen.
Yeah. So the glitch, the trick is you don't have to wait for these bombs, but it's extremely unsafe.
Yeah, essentially flip a coin, and if your coin flip is correct, then you get a 4-frame window to get underneath the bomb by pressing the jump button. Very much not recommended to do. If you don't win the coin flip, or if you miss that 4-frame window, then you fall to your death. So do the whole boat section again.
Pretty nice. You want Blizzard to shoot there. You don't want him to bounce because he's invincible while he's bouncing. I think he only got a couple bounces there. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it looked like 2, which is
average.
Pretty average.
Right?
Pretty average. I would say that 5 rolls for the whole game is average for myself. So 2 rolls in a fight is it's pretty average.
Not been my experience. Good to know.
I know that there's a lot of people that have different experiences where they're like 3 or 4 rolls average per fight. But my experience is 5 rolls for the whole game. So 2.5 is the average per fight.
Plant here is a scary stage. This is probably the hardest of the 8 robots in this game, just because of the second half of the stage is so dangerous.
Yeah, we get the a lot of usage of flame. You might have seen some of that in Blizzard and thought, well, that's just because that's the weakness for Blizzard. Flame is extremely powerful. It does 4 damage per shot, and you can fire 3 at a time. So mini bosses in particular that have like 24 HP, you just fire 6 shots into and they die, and you can just mash those shots. Very handy.
Yeah, flame is definitely strong. There is like a flame first route just because flame is so good that some people get it first. It's not faster, but
yeah, it's not much different than win first in the ideal sense. You just have to deal with a lot more of Flame Man himself. You have to deal with how to hit him with Buster. Alright, we got the plant form screen here. Very dangerous. Okay, we're doing the opt-in for the Buster strats here, which is always the safer version. Instead of having to deal with a small window to land on each of those platforms to be able to jump off, you just shoot them open and they're always going to be platforms. Oh, when he pressed forward a little bit too soon, fell off the spring. You kind of want to set yourself up on the right-hand side of the spring there so you don't have to stop for the last section there, but yeah, just if your position's a little bit off, if you start holding forward a little bit too soon.
Yeah, so that's a little awkward because now he's low on flame, so he's trying to get enough to kill this mini-boss really quickly so he doesn't have to try and buster it. Which, there you go, he has enough.
Yeah. Yeah, he opted out of the refills earlier so he could get them here.
Gonna have to be very safe. I actually don't know how to get through here with Buster, so I'm guessing we're just gonna see him, just basically kill all the enemies.
Yeah, wait out the fish. Not a bad idea.
And honestly, yeah, just getting through this section feels so good.
Okay. Yep, that's fine. All right. This is still fine. This is still completely fine.
Yeah, it looks ridiculous, but it's fine. This is fine, dog.
I was only worried at the very start there when I wasn't sure if he was going to try to deboost off the front of the turret. Like, once you're underneath it, it's like, okay, this is completely safe. But
yeah,
it just looks terrifying.
Yeah, I think you don't get back boosted all that far in this game. We did see the one like safe platform there from Kreble.
All right, and Cynan sets up the.
Okay. We got one actually. He busted 2 of them open. I don't know if he forgot about the 3rd one, so we just platformed it. That's a big catch up there from Kreble. Yep. He's right back on his heels.
Yeah, really big. Not dying there, getting through that clean. Sifi also gets the setup for the quicker Plant Man fight here. If you get yourself right in the middle of Plant Man's hitbox, okay, gets the easier jump.
I don't know. Yeah,
like he was trying to do the left jump setup and then didn't get quite back in the right position for the right jump. So if you're right in the middle of Plant Man's hitbox, like we saw on Cynan's side earlier, then when Plant Man is looking for your position to run to after his shield leaves the screen, it defaults to the max distance, and so he does a maximum distance run where you can get a lot of hits in. Someone would say that Plant Man gets confused, but he's not actually confused.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
Yeah.
Gotta intimidate him by running around. Tomahawk here, this is just a fun stage. Lots of nice little slides and movement. No huge part of the stage jumps out at me as like critical.
Yeah, it's just a very straightforward, get through everything, you get a lot of flame usage out of here. If you swap at like halfway through the first screen, you have just enough flame ammo to get through. There's a couple different ways you can buster down all four of the Colton enemies at the start and save a little bit for extra usage.
Yeah, that's the only thing, is making sure. Say hi and bye to Proto Man. He's behind that broken block. We will never see him.
And maybe contrary to popular belief, you cannot fight Proto Man in this game.
Not allowed.
Alright, we have Tomahawk Man here, who's probably the hardest boss fight in this game.
Oh yeah.
Just because you're having to fight him with Plant Barrier, which is a melee weapon, and Tomahawk Man is pretty erratic, jumps around quite a bit, does a bunch of damage with his Tomahawk throw. And you're just trying to make sure that you don't run out of Plant Barrier.
Yeah, it's so easy to clip him just a few frames earlier. You have exact ammo, so you cannot miss.
Yeah, Plant Barrier would be extremely powerful if it had ammo, but because you only have 7 shots, it's like, oh, well, I guess I get to just use it against Tomahawk Man.
Yeah. Going up here in Yamato, and again, this is another stage where there's not that much. We will see Rush Jet Adapter make an appearance. I assume, at least.
Yeah, I would presume we'll see the Rush Jet Adapter here, and not the POW suit. So unlike a lot of the previous games, which Rush kind of turns into something that Mega Man can like stand on or utilize, ride, Rush instead combines with Mega Man in this game to turn into a jetpack or a suit to punch things down with. Very cool, very fun idea. We'll see the jetpack iteration most likely here. It's slightly faster to get through the jetpack section than to go through the bottom half of the stage.
Yep. I believe you skipped the mini bosses, right?
The mini boss is in the POW suit section of the stage.
Gotcha.
Yep, we got the jet swap here.
Controlling the jet is actually pretty tricky because, like, there's a lot that goes into it. Momentum and fuel. Well, you're not using it on the ground. You have to like tap the ground for your fuel to recover, but you have to control your momentum. It's very easy to actually end up in a pit of spikes because you controlled your jet wrong.
Yeah, jet starts off empty when you first get it, but refills after you paused into it. So, like, if you jump midair and pause, and then swap to jets the first time, you can end up not having quite enough to reach, but if you stay on the ground and then do your jump, then you'll have enough to make the jump. And then it remembers how much ammo that you have in between usage. So if you leave it at empty, it'll remember that you're at empty. A lot of like little tiny optimization things that you can deal with it.
But it is faster than climbing all these ladders.
Yep.
And you need it for this last bit of the screen. Going into night here, and the start of this stage is the tricky part. The crusher screen, we'll see how fastly it gets through that. How quickly.
Yeah, the spike ceiling in night is definitely one of the harder things to get through in this category. And it being like right at the very end of a hour 50-minute run can be pretty draining. It's have to decide like, okay, how do I want to get through this?
Oh,
okay.
Creble taking a death on the other side.
Okay. We saw the pause method on Cynan's side there to get the spikes to be out of the way when he came out of the pause. While you're pausing,
it's very nice.
Yeah, while you're pausing in Mega Man 6, the spikes still move, like while you're frozen and while enemies are frozen. So during the fade in and fade out time, you can have the spikes move just enough so that when you come out of your slide, it is out of your way.
He didn't get hit by that one barrel guy, which is impressive. That guy always dunks on me.
Yeah, it's pretty easy to get hit there. Alright, and then my favorite enemies, the Mad Nerds. Brain breaks.
Mad Nerds?
They're so mad.
There's more Mad Nerds we don't get to see. They're actually a lot madder in Wily Castle for some reason. Pretty good bouncy castle.
Yeah, very nice. Nice cancels there. Yep, very good.
Creble coming up to the crusher screen. About a stage behind still. Hanging in there. He's within striking range.
Alright, does the D-Boost method, which is just always a nice safe method to get through. Right, we have Nightman here, who's the only full random boss in this game that can do whatever the heck he feels like, whenever the heck he feels like it. Most of the robots in this game have a fixed, like semi-fixed pattern where they can only do the same action twice in a row before they're forced to swap. Nightman ignores whatever check that they had on that before. Creble also squeezes by the barrel. Where he can decide, I just feel like jumping around today, and then jump like 20 times in a row.
Centaur is a very scary stage, and I mentioned this before. It's just so rude that this is the last stage of the speedrun. With all the other like stages, we're like, oh, you know, there's just movement here, nothing big. There's so many pits in the stage that you can just find yourself in, or ways to die. I don't believe he went for Miracle Jump, a very specific jump at the start, and I don't blame him, for the record.
No. Yeah, if you're not super comfortable with Centaur, it being an underwater stage with slightly different physics at the very end of the run can be very, very rude in that way.
Mm-hmm. And Centaur can, if you're not careful, he can kill you. Coming up to the water, the reverse water screen here. It looks like, yeah, it looks like he already missed the cycle. Gonna just play it safe, which is smart. Oh, just had to show it off.
That screen is impossible unless you have someone else holding the other half of your controller. By the way,
true.
It's the 2P1C room. It's a night
And
ammo
yeah,
refill.
getting everything at this point. I imagine he must know he's ahead, so he's just like, let me not play around, fill up my ammo, like don't run out of ammo, don't run out of health.
Cloud Submarine section is the last real scary spot, as long as you don't run into one of these Metroids. Okay. Oh, we're going for...
Nice,
Hey!
nice! There's a glitch where Kreble taking a death here. That's unfortunate. Tried to menu to Jet, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the way that Jet doesn't cancel that much momentum unless you can pause really early coming off of the platform. But yeah, with the ladder jumps, there's a small window where if you climb off the bottom of a ladder, you can get standing frames and then jump off of it. Really cool mechanic in 6. Alright, one teleport.
You just need to make sure he's in iframe. So, and there we go. GG for Cynan.
GG. And that's with a looks like he hasn't hit done in the race room yet.
There we go.
There it is.
There we go. There we go.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was a really good performance. I can't think. I think he had a death in Mega Man 2, was it?
That sounds right.
Yeah, but otherwise, pretty clean performance. And that's really close to his PB, I think, actually. That's within a few seconds. At least RTA. I don't know about in-game time.
If it's within a few seconds RTA, it could be an IGT PB. Because of the slightly longer...
Yeah, the 20 seconds. Yeah.
Oh, get sniped off the ladder. The screen is so rude. You have to, like, if you're doing the night strat, you have to set it up in just the right way to not get sniped.
Welcome, Cynan. How's it going?
Hello. Doing pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied with that race.
So,
Yes.
Yeah, it was great.
I think it was pretty close from the beginning, I think.
Yep, and it's kind of what we thought might happen is it would start off with a big lead for Kreble, him being like really good at Mega Man 1 and 2, and then we'd see how it narrows from there.
Yeah, I knew if I was not too far behind after Mega Man 2, I could catch up, but yeah.
So was that do you know if that's an in-game time PB for you? I know it's not RTA. I think you would subtract. We had 5 20-second swaps, so 120, not 120, 100 seconds. Subtract, yeah, a minute and 40 seconds.
140, excuse me.
Yeah.
I never do math on stream.
You counted the swap for Mega Man 6 to 7. It's fine.
Alright, and then our last fight here for Kreble. Just make sure that you shoot him as he's spawning in.
I think that might be a 1 second in-game time PB, if I'm doing my math right.
Alright, last shot. Oh, okay. You don't have any more ammo! You don't have any more ammo!
Yep. Fine, or PAL. Yeah, I gotta show off the PAL.
Punch him! Nice.
Nice, there we
Got
go.
the punch finish. GG. Very nice race.
Very, very nice. Let's see if we can get Kreble in here. And that was really good. That was really clean by both players. We saw mistakes kind of where we expected them to be in each runner's worst game, but they showed up their best games very well.
Yeah. I definitely saw the sort of the back and forth of the skill set, and then like how they both had like the front half and the back half as the specialties, and sort of the middle they both had a couple of light blunders each, but kept it pretty close. Really nice.
While we're waiting on Kreble here, I'm looking at the bracket. So the next match is going to be the winner of Becco and Notorious. How do you feel?
I think Cynan's mic is died at the moment.
I see. Yeah, I see that. Okay. Well, that's Becco is the 2 seed. I don't want to assume he's going to get past Notorious, who already knocked off one runner to get there. But that is tough. Becco's a tough opponent to beat here. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, for sure.
And I do think I kind of like it when they have separate strengths. I feel like I have a little more chance. Becco is currently he's the 5 world record holder, correct? Any percent?
Becco currently holds the record in 5 and 6. For the
5 and
80%.
6. Okay.
Yeah. He's got the Mega Man 6 record by a second. And the 5 record by like 12 seconds, I think, is the,
I think I'm
difference.
back.
Oh,
Yeah,
welcome
there we
back.
go. He's back.
Sorry about that.
Totally fine.
Yes.
So Kreble doesn't have his mic set up, so we're not gonna have him today. But Cynan, I was saying you're gonna play the winner of Becco and Notorious. How does that feel?
Yeah, that's. I feel that's gonna be a hard match for sure.
Yeah, I would be not impossible, but it's pretty tough ask.
Yes, indeed. Well, it will be a fun match anyway. So
Yeah.
don't fight it.
Agreed. Anything you think you're gonna work on between now and then?
I need to work on my Mega Man 1 and 2 zips. I'm really not that confident yet for most of them. So
Yeah. I'm right there with you. Where 1 and 2 are they're just sort of
Not my
completely
thing
different beasts in comparison to Sliding Mega. So it's like they're not as long, but they also feel like they have a lot more weight. Just from like how much you
Absolutely.
can save with the zips.
yeah,
Especially, I feel like Rockman 2. I mean, I always say this, but that's definitely the one that is a bit intimidating to run if you never played it. You gotta manage like your health because there's intentional deaths, so your health's your lives.
yeah, for sure. I think half my run was half this test and half with the zip, and I think I did fine. So might just keep it that way.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's see here.
What else do we have coming up here? Let me see. 1 second.
So our next couple of matches are for one is this Saturday, the Shadow versus Mellow Flows. It should be a pretty nice one. That's at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Translate that to your own particular time zone. But that'll be a fun one. And then speaking of that match, if you want to take that.
On the 19th, we have Notorious v. Becco. That's at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. And that's going to be, again, Becco's a pretty tough opponent. It's not unthinkable, but it's a tough ask. I think both of those are going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely have a few more matches in there to schedule as well. I know I have to get in cahoots with Madu to schedule our match.
That's going to be a really tight one. And then we have on the horizon Shadow and Mellow, Colonel Fatso and Mad Mega. Those are all going to be really good matches.
Yep. Yeah, a lot of good stuff still happening in the tournaments. Keep your eyes peeled out. But I think, unless you have any words you want to say, that should wrap us up here.
No, only thing, if you're like what you see, if you're interested in running Mega Man, go to Mega Man Leaderboard. megamanleaderboards.net. I always forget. megamanleaderboards.net. You can find the leaderboards there. There's a link to a classic Mega Man Discord where you can ask questions and tell us why you're better at the game than we are.
Yeah, please find some new cool stuff. I wanna implement things.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and
Thanks,
follow the runners.
Thanks, SGL, for having this.
Thank you, SGL. Follow the runners, and make sure you follow this other guy here, Sage Hero. He's a pretty good.
Don't follow me.
Pretty good
Follow
run, yeah.
Papat. If you want to see Mega Man run slow and wrong, you can come to my channel.
All right, but thanks for coming out, everybody. Have a good rest of your night.
He's out.